Whenever we hear the word feedback, a fear grips us. Oh God, I'm being attacked. Am I being exposed? Uh, what do I get out of the session? I'm too perfect. Does anyone really need to give me feedback? Those are the emotions we often walk into a room or a meeting when we are told that, hey, I have some feedback to share, whether it's work or relationships. If our partners tell us, something's not going well, we need to talk, the first reaction is that of fear. And sometimes, even if we look back into our families and if we have young kids, they might tell you, mom, dad, every time you tell me, let's talk, I get a little scared. Now, if those things are going on, we of course need to fix it. But within ourselves, if we are also carrying the fear of receiving feedback, we need to first overcome it. Tell yourself every time that yes, if I have to go into a conversation to get some inputs about my performance or my behavior or what I can do better, I will listen. I will accept it as a gift. I will not react to it immediately. Whenever a feedback is being given, listen carefully. You don't have to react immediately. Of course, after the session is over, before you walk out of that room or that meeting, do get the confidence that this is a relationship, whether at work or at home, that you want to continue to invest in, and the other person is equally invested. That is the intent of feedback usually, but you should get the confidence in the meeting that the things that are being talked about, if they are worked upon, yes, you can turn things around and make the relationship more productive and happy for both of you. That's all one needs to do in a feedback session. Once you've received the gift, you've accepted it and not reacted to it, move on. For the next couple of days, ponder over it. Don't stress or brood, just think about it. Are those things workable? Can you make those changes? Or can you come up with a strategy if the feedback wasn't right? To communicate to the other individual why it wasn't right. Can you do that via your actions, or does it require another dialogue with that person? That's a more prudent way of receiving feedback versus responding immediately. Now, let's take an example where your manager gives you feedback. It makes you really angry because you feel your manager doesn't understand what you've been doing. Reacting and saying, boss, you don't understand the kind of work it entails to do something, and that's why you're giving me this feedback, will usually not go well with your boss. Because your boss is there, and let's assume he or she knows his job. He or she also knows what is done at levels below him or her. Let's assume even if your manager doesn't know that, what is your manager accountable for? The manager is accountable for your outcomes. And he or she, in his own way, is expressing, man, this is not happening. Or girl, you need to pull up your socks. This work isn't happening, or it's not happening as per time. It doesn't help reacting immediately. What will help if you take a day or two, think over it, make a plan, and come back to your boss, telling him how you'll be able to fix it and by when, and then stick to those deadlines. There might be times, even in your personal lives, when you don't agree with a particular feedback. And it might be vented out to you not in the perfect way, more in forms of anger or frustration. Again, in those situations, it's always better not to react. Find a better, calmer moment to go back and then talk to the individual. So what you're doing over here is, whenever feedback is given, you're accepting it with a smile, just the way you accept a gift. You may not like it. You're then taking time to ponder over it, to see how you can use it, and then go back to the giver, appreciating the time taken, and coming up with a plan on what can be done to make things better between the two of you. Just remember one thing. Feedback is going to be part and parcel of your life, whether at work or with your loved ones at home. And it's important you learn to listen. It's important you learn to imbibe what people expect from you and see to what extent you can mold yourself. That does help make things a lot easier for you wherever you are, and making people around you much happier and more satisfied with you as well.